performing his primary duty, then the school will leave. The local government chairman will also go one day. So it is the whole community that is going to benefit. So I am calling on the whole community to do whatever it is they have to do within their power to protect that institution and the student that is in that campus. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. John. Do have yourself a wonderful day. Well, for me, Jude, I think all the students just need to do is have their regular school ID cards. That's enough identification for anybody who's curious as to who they are and where they are living. However, Jude, see these complaints about students being harassed by committee members. It's almost everywhere in this country. And I don't get it. What exactly do these people want? Why would you want to harass, rape in some cases, and steal from people who are just there to learn? Maybe have a good time if possible and go back to wherever they are coming from. They will not be there forever. And the more welcoming the community is, guess what? The more developed that place would be. I don't think it's that difficult. Why do we make things hard for ourselves? I don't know. I really don't know either. Because if you remember, earlier on in the year, or was it last year, we had that case of the campus of Rivers State University being heavily compromised, where female students, had to, raise their voices in alarm as to the dangers that they get to experience. So much so that even the governor had to, pay a courtesy visit there. It was moved. Like, oh no, this shouldn't have happened, and he went there. How many of you remember that? But you see, what happened in RSU happened so many times in Uniport. So what were the reasons? Now, before we continue and as wrap up, let's be very honest, right? We cannot, as we have these types of conversation, absolve the role of the errant student. Yes, there are errant students. There are students who, when they get into school or they're now in university, everybody's now a big boy. For example, the complaint back there in Futu that people used to play their music too loud. Why do that? Yes, you want to have yourself a good time. You want to, be listening to music while you're cleaning your room on a Saturday morning. But this level of decency that should be, expressed. And another thing I noticed, right? Another thing I noticed is that when some of these universities, some of these tertiary institutions get to be located, particularly in very rural settings, right? They tend to talk down on the folks in those areas. I visited, what's it called? Olabisi or Labanjo. How many of you remember it's in the east? Sorry, it's in the west, I beg your pardon. All right? I experienced that there. I also experienced it, Ekadolo, right, in Benin. Just not too far from where Uniben is. And even in Uniben, my time there, you'd see it. Students come through, they want to buy soft drinks, or they want to buy, whatever wares. Obviously, is a local who stays in that area that's going to serve them. I don't know, madam, why you don't do this thing like this now? Which kind? The person who's speaking is like, what, 20, 19, 21. The person who he's raising his voice at is in our 40s, 50s sometimes. You talk down. Some students would try to take advantage. There was this trend. I don't know. Please, if you're at university right now, please send me a text. I need to know this because I don't know if it still happened. When we were in school, there was this trend. I don't know whether I started in Uniben, but that's where I first experienced it. We used to call them any walk. People who would come to your doorstep early in the morning, as early as 6 o'clock, and they ask you, bros, any walk? What do they want? They want to sweep your room. They want to wash your clothes. They want to help you fix your shoes. We were basically having maids when we were in university. Back then, when they do a chore for you, you give them 100 naira. If the chore was really heavy, Some will pay 300. Some girls, I remember back then, some girls in Uniport that time would have a girl who would come to their self-contained every Friday or every Saturday and clean. And then they pay them 500 naira or something, I need to see the way they will be speaking to these people. Don't do this, don't do shit. I was like, why? I never engaged in that, funny enough, maybe because I didn't have the money back then. But it never quite sat well with me. So yes, these skirmishes, these conflicts, this friction would happen. I don't know if we just need to learn how to be more respectful of each other and prevent this type of occurrences. But once again, if you are in Uniport, if you're in RSU, in Nekede, in Futo, IMSU, APSU, do you guys still have any work where they come and they do chores for you? I'm just curious.